Hi, I'm Dukwasa Dean, hosting Her Fight, Her Story for Doctors Hospital. I am so privileged today to sit with Shameka. Shameka, this pink is popping, girl. You
Thank
look
you.
so beautiful today.
Thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good.
So tell us a little bit about you. Like, this is my first time meeting you, so tell me what you do and how long you've been at Doctors Hospital.
Well, my name is Shameka. I've been to doctors 18 years now.
Okay.
I started off in the operating room, recovery room under Miss Seymour for 17 years, and I'm in the HIM department.
Girl, Shameka, you only look 17.
Thanks.
What you talking about? Really?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So I'm so excited to get into your story today. Is
Okay.
this pink significant of anything, or is it just a color you chose to put on this morning?
Well, I chose the color for Breast Cancer Month,
Okay.
and seeing that I am a breast cancer patient, at least a warrior,
Okay.
so I decided to put it on today.
Okay, great.
Yes.
When were you diagnosed?
Okay, I was diagnosed in May 2019.
Well, fairly recent.
Yes, recent.
Yes, fairly recent.
Yes.
And what made you go to find out if you had breast cancer? What was it that prompted you?
Well, during that time, I was in my 30s, and you know they don't prompt you to do a mammogram until you're 40.
What? Yes.
So I had felt the lump, but you know, typical behavior, we threw it off. But I had a scheduled appointment with Dr. Neal. So I went to Dr. Neal that morning, and he did the full body workup, and he found the lump. So he sent me right back to work and told me go straight to the x-ray department and do a mammogram.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So you did the mammogram. They sent it back to the doctor.
Well, before that even happened, I went to Miss Seymour first.
Okay.
And I told her what was going on. So she came with me downstairs. We did the mammogram, and they saw it from there. So straight, I went right in. They did the biopsy, and they sent it off to the lab, and everything went from there.
Okay. Wow. So during this time of testing and coming into the realization that you had the mass, and what were you feeling? What were some of your emotions since you were in your 30s?
Well, it was, at least I didn't have time to process it because it happened so quick. Everything happened in that day. After they took it to the lab, then later on that afternoon, I had to go and see the general surgeon. It was Dr. Shea. So I called my aunt, my cousin, Miss Seymour. All of us went to Dr. Shea's office straight away, and he said what was going on, exactly what it was. And then we had to prepare to go to town to do the PET.
Okay.
So everything was just moving.
Right. Quick.
Yeah, everything was just moving quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
So what was the time period between your diagnosis and when you began treatment? Did you have a mastectomy? Did you just take a lumpectomy? Like, what was your treatment like?
Okay, after I did the PET, we came back, and what we did right away was we got deported.
Okay.
And that's where I decided on an oncologist. So we went to the oncologist, they mapped out a plan on exactly how we was gonna do it. So I started off with chemo. I did about 22 cycles of chemo.
Wow.
And then after the chemo was done, I did mastectomy. It was only in the left breast, but I decided to do a bilateral and take off both breasts.
A lot of women are making that decision
Yes.
in today to remove both breasts, right? So how do you feel about that decision?
Well, I opt for it right away because I don't want, because you know, usually it comes back. So I decided just to take off both, and then after that I had radiation done.
Okay, and how many rounds of radiation did you have?
I had about 10 rounds of radiation.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
How did the treatment impact you? Like physically, how would you say the treatment was? The
With
chemo?
the
and-
chemo, I did pretty well. I didn't have any sickness at all. Only thing, well, I lost everything. All my hair, everything was
Okay,
gone.
right.
Yes, but the chemo, I handled it really well.
Okay.
Yes.
And radiation?
Well, radiation was something. You know, the skin got burned.
Okay.
So the whole left side of me was burned.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. You've been through a journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything just moved quickly.
Right.
Yes.
And usually that's what happens with a cancer diagnosis. You get your diagnosis. People may not move as quickly as you
Yeah.
did, but you move into making the decision
Yes.
about the treatment, and you take the treatment. And in truth, you don't have time to process your
No, you
feelings,
don't.
right? So the real healing from cancer begins after treatment ends, right? So when treatment was done, right? What were some of the things that you grappled with as a result of having to go through cancer?
Well, I had to come to terms that I actually did that.
Okay.
Because everything happened so quickly, and when it was done and the results came back that I was cleared, it was like, wow, you actually went through that. And then with the support and speaking to this one and everyone, everything went well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Emotionally, as you come to terms with your journey, what were some of the challenges you had with reconciling that you've lost both breasts, or that your life is now before cancer and after cancer?
Well, I was pretty good with it, because when it was time to make that decision, I knew what I had to do. I had to fight for me.
Right.
So whatever they said to do, I did it step by step, and I got it done.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So what has cancer taught you about you?
Well, cancer taught me to respect life more.
Okay.
Because you never know what's around the corner. You, like planning ahead, planning this and planning that, any obstacle can come and stop it.
Right.
So you just take advantage, live each day as it comes, and don't worry about the simple things.
Yes, boy, it has a way of teaching you
Yes.
to appreciate life so much more, right?
And don't
Everything
complain
has
about
greater
the small
value.
stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Now, who did you share your diagnosis with? Were you open about the fact that you had cancer, or was it more of a private journey?
Well, it was more of a private journey. Well, I had a team, my doctors, my family members,
Right.
and close friends.
Right.
They were all that knew about it,
Okay.
but I never was out there with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there a reason that you wanted to keep it so private?
Yeah, because I wanted to get everything done. Because when you put things out there, everybody has an opinion
Right.
on how you should do this and how you should do that. Well, I didn't want all of that in my head.
Right.
I just wanted to do what I had to do
Right.
and get better.
Great, and that's what you did.
Yes.
Because you're here today, and
Yes.
we're in 2023, and that was 2019.
Yes.
And so you did what was necessary to fight to live, and now you're open to sharing more of your story and being a testimony for other people.
Yes.
As your co-workers are watching this, and perhaps for the first time learning
Yes.
that you are a breast cancer warrior, what advice would you give them about interacting with employees, understanding that you don't know what everyone is going through?
Yes. Like just to show empathy, because you never know what anybody is dealing with.
Right.
So that's it, just to be kind.
Yeah, and kindness goes a long way,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes, it
When
does.
someone's looking sad, just say a kind word to them.
Yes,
Or
you don't need to really know the problem.
Right.
Just give some encouraging words.
Right, and not make assumptions, Because
Yes.
sometimes we make assumptions and it's so off from what the truth of the matter is. So kindness does indeed go a very long way.
Yes.
Now, you were fortunate to be an employee at Doctor's Hospital and have your testing and diagnostic done very quickly, and so that really worked to your advantage. And so we must commend your organization and your co-workers, everyone that helped you with that. How did you feel having that support?
Well, it was great. Because then you had those who went through it before, and then everybody was on a journey with you.
Do you have kids? Tell me a little bit more about your family life.
Okay, I have a daughter. She's 17.
Okay.
Yes.
So how old was she when she was, 12?
Yeah, she was 12.
She was 12, yeah.
Yes.
And how did the journey impact her? And what were some of the things that you were able to do to support her?
Well, I sat down with her and I explained everything, even though she didn't really understand it. But as we went through it, I let her know what's going to happen, what she's probably going to see, and it's okay to express her feelings.
Okay.
But I'm going to be okay.
Okay, that was
Yes.
nice to give her that reassurance.
Yes.
And as you journeyed through and you lost your hair, you were a little bit weak, how did you continue that conversation with her to alleviate her fears?
Well, during the week part, I try not to let her see it. So on my up days, that's what I would show to her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. And how does she feel today, the daughter of a warrior who overcame such a massive battle? How do you think she feels today?
I think she's good. She's happy with it.
Great.
That she saw me fight that fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you feel about being an example of what to do when you face a difficult circumstance for her? What does that mean to you?
Well, I feel good about it because it's a positive thread. I showed her how I did it. Like everybody experience is different. She didn't seem, I wasn't down. I just fight the fight every day. I got up, I did what I had to do, and I overcame it.
Okay,
Yes.
so you are a great example
Yes.
for her and even your coworkers that when life gets difficult, we have grit. We have
Yes.
to go inside of us and dig deep to find the courage to
Yes.
face whatever situation there is.
Yes, you can't just sit around and feel sorry for
Yeah.
yourself. You have to get up there, get
Right.
out there, and fight for your life.
So during your treatment, were you working?
Yes, I worked every day.
You did? No sick days?
No sick days.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about, a whole
Yes.
hero. You're fortunate because there are people when they take chemo, they're weak, they're
Yes.
nauseous, they really can't go to work. And so you're fortunate to be one of those who didn't have as much side impacts
Effects,
from the
yes.
treatment. So that's awesome as well. Now, did you go to work because you wanted to be strong, or did you go to work because you really weren't sick?
I wasn't sick, but I didn't want to just be around doing anything. I wanted to keep busy.
Right, to stay occupied.
Yes.
Keep your mind occupied.
Off of it,
Yeah.
yes.
And did you find that you were able to function in your full capacity, or did you have to pull back a little bit?
No,
or
I was pretty good.
you were? Wow. Your
Yes.
co-workers must have been really amazed.
Well, a lot of them didn't know actually.
Oh, wow.
For
right.
the ones them that knew and was watching me. Yeah.
All right, that's a great example as well. That when you're okay, when you're well,
Yes.
that it's okay to come to work. We don't want them to come to work if they're sick.
No.
But definitely, if you're strong enough to show up, and that's exactly what you showed
What I did,
your
yes.
coworkers to do. To women out there who are facing a cancer battle right now, right?
Yes.
They're watching you. They work with you. They're watching you. They're hearing you say your story, and we know that every person's story will be different.
Yes.
What advice will you give them about jumping into the fight immediately and not lingering?
Yeah, well, do your research. Like we said, early detection, once you get that call and you get the diagnosis, just jump into it and do what you have to do. Do all the researches, everything possible, and go ahead. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Because, we wait on things and it gets worse. It spreads.
Isn't it amazing how you could have a 2-centimeter thing this week and
Next
week
week
is like
it's big.
12, yeah. So it really,
Yes.
really grows,
so
right?
Let's do what we have to do.
Yeah. And who were your doctors?
Well, my general was Dr. Williamson Shea. Oncology
I
was
love Dr. Shea.
Yes, oncology was Dr. Gerges.
Okay.
My anesthetic team was Dr. McCartney, Dr. Nemar, Dr. Weish, and Dr. Rowe.
Oh, you had a big
Yes,
team.
Yeah, I had a full team, and then Dr. Dacus, of course.
Yes.
I consulted with him a lot with everything that I was doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. How important do you think it is to follow the doctor's instructions?
Well, I think it's important.
Really? Yeah.
Even though I didn't sometimes.
Tell us about that.
but it's very important
Yeah.
to go step by
Tell
step.
us why you didn't follow sometimes.
Oh, it was a lot.
Because it's a lot, right?
Yes, it's a life-changing event.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff they want you to give up in terms of your favorite food.
Yes.
Your lifestyle, everything has to change.
Yes.
So I cheated sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think everyone. Let me know say everyone. I think most people cheat because when you
Yeah.
grow up eating sugar and fast food and fried food and red meat and all the things that we have to
Yes.
sacrifice, is really hard not
And if
to.
you know Dr. Shea,
Yeah.
he thinks it's just greens.
Everything must go.
Yes.
Greens and water.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have to give up a lot. And so with the cancer journey, there's before cancer and then there's after cancer.
Yes.
We never go back to what our initial norm was, right?
Yes.
After a cancer diagnosis, you're no longer the same.
No.
And so how is your after cancer journey? Because there was the before cancer Shameka, and now we're talking to the after cancer Shameka. Tell us about the transformation.
Okay, like life is more precious now. And then in terms of body, we try to get back to a normal state. So the process just isn't over there.
Yeah.
Because you're still trying to get back to how your body used to be. So it takes time.
It does.
And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we should give ourselves grace, right?
Yes.
When did you stop treatment?
I stopped treatment in 2020.
2020.
Yes.
So we're a few years out from 2020.
Yes.
And are there any lingering impacts from the treatment that you still experience today?
No, everything is fine. Right now, I'm doing the process of reconstruction.
Okay.
So like I said, we're getting back to normal. So
Yes.
it takes time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think every woman needs to know that, that the process takes time.
Yeah, but there's so much things out there now that we can do that you're still
Yes.
looking a normal state.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like you can buy your prosthesis
Yes.
and you can still rock it confident. Some women just continue to go
Yeah.
breastless, and
Yeah.
it's just admirable indeed, right?
Yes.
And so as we start to wind down in our interview today, Shameka, tell me what one thing stands out to you as the biggest lesson that you've taken, other than gratitude, right? What is the biggest lesson that cancer has taught you?
It can happen to anyone. Because you see yourself healthy, going on with your life, and you never think this would be you.
Right. It can
So,
happen to
yes.
anyone at any age,
At
right?
any age.
Because that 40-year-old
No.
waiting to take a mammogram until you're 40 is outdated now, right? Because it's so prevalent now in younger people. And so it's no better time than now,
Yes.
to check up on your health, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Did you have any mental, emotional, or spiritual struggles as you went through your treatment?
No, like I put it all in God's hands. Like they say faith without works. That was it right now.
Yeah.
I had my faith and I know what I had to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about support? How important is, once you have made up your mind to do what needs to be done, how important is support, like the support of your family, your community?
I think support is very important. Like I had my family, I had my medical team, plus I had the local charities. Ms. Seymour introduced me to Sister, plus Dr. Shea introduced me to the Cancer Society.
Right.
And it helped me to give back.
Yes.
So now I go with the kids. I help with the kids at at Cancer Society.
Okay.
With the Freedom Kids.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm the co-chair there.
Yes, awesome. Even kids have cancer, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work, and thank you for using your experience to give back,
Yes.
and understanding that the experience was given to you to do something with, and now you're able to help younger kids as they journey with cancer as well. And so for final words, Shameka, what would you say to your coworkers about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or to women generally as we conclude our interview today? What would be some of your final words?
To go and get checked out and don't wait. Let's do what we have to do and get it done.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So those are strong words from a breast cancer warrior, that taking control of our health is super important, not to wait. And again, a living testimony of the fact that if you are diagnosed with cancer, you can fight and you can win. Shameka is here today demonstrating the fact that cancer doesn't have to be a death sentence. And so we encourage you to check up on your health. I am so privileged to have had the opportunity to sit with you, Shameka, to hear your story and to be inspired by it. Thank you for the courage to share with your coworkers about your journey.
You're welcome.
Doctors Hospital invites you to go pink this fall with the purchase of a mammogram for yourself or a loved one. From October 1st to December 31st, mammograms are only $60 for self-pay patients, and for insured patients, your copay will be waived. Call 302-4662 for more information and register at doctorshosp.com/register-online. Doctors Hospital, your breast cancer detection one-stop shop.